Hey guys, this is Chris with KnowYourBest.com, and I want to talk about something very real with you today. Here in the US, we're experiencing this health and economic crisis. Some have lost their jobs, some have lost everything. Across the country, we're seeing injustice, natural disasters like wildfires and hurricanes. We just can't seem to get a break. The mental and emotional toll is just as great, and few of us have faced this degree of adversity in our lifetimes. In times like this, it takes a massive amount of resilience to remain strong and to keep going. And that's the trait I want to talk to you about today. It's resilience, what it is, and how do we find it within ourselves. The first thing is that resilience has a lot to do with forgiveness, right? So if you encountered a significant setback recently, maybe that failure wasn't all your fault. Maybe someone screwed you over or made your life harder. You have the right to get frustrated, even angry, but you can't let helplessness and resentment fester for long. Soon those can become barriers to your success and your happiness. So instead of bitterness, try to find compassion towards those who have wronged you. I know it's difficult, but if by learning to let go, you really ensure that doesn't become a burden on you. Resilience also silences critics. I want you to do this now. Stop placing so much importance on what other people say about you. Our obsession with how others perceive us is destructive and it's pointless. So what people think of us, it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with them. So stop comparing yourself to other people. And if you're going to see yourself in the eyes of someone, choose the eyes of someone who admires you. Resilience is also about gratitude. So our frustrations and our resentment, they come from this mismatch between our expectations and our reality. As we go through life, we tend to just expect so much and yet be grateful for so little. So we expect the bus, the train, the flight to always arrive on time. We demand our delivery, our takeout is ready right after we ordered it. On some level, we expect that everyone will like us. Movies and TVs tells us that wealth is meaning. So we're taught that we need to find riches, a perfect spouse to be happy, and when things don't work out, we feel like we've failed. And instead of indulging in the self-defeating cycle, start trading your expectations for appreciation. When you wake up, before you go to bed, think about all the things you're grateful for. Why does this work? It's challenging to feel grateful and happy at the same time. The mind just can't seem to reconcile these contradictory moods, these beliefs. So that's why it's super helpful to make a daily gratitude practice part of your routine. Resilience is also about ownership. It's about taking responsibility for our actions, right? It's easy to point the finger at someone else besides us. And as I mentioned, sometimes there's some blame to go around, right? The economy, the government, your parents. You may not deserve the fault, but you can only hurt yourself by blaming others, right? Stop handing over the keys to your destiny to someone else. The time spent finding excuses, that's time that can be spent focusing your efforts on finding the solutions you need. Resilience is also about having faith, right? So life is never smooth sailing. The more ambitious your goals, the higher the obstacles will be. And the only answer is to get up every day and face that adversity head on. I heard a brilliant quote recently. It was, don't focus on the size of your problems, focus on becoming the person that can solve them. And significant setbacks, they're really the last thing we see before big victories. So regardless of your circumstances, think about the times that you overcame obstacles. Remember how you found the courage and the optimism to turn things around. Also, resilience is really about habit. So the basis of all long-term success and resilience in life is quality habits. Repetition comes from habits, and habits are the cornerstone of resilience. So you may be asking, if we know what we want to achieve or change about our lives, then why do we need habits at all? It's because the human character is fallible. Motivation is inconsistent, willpower is very limited, and to make matters worse, the journey to our goals, it's often long and unpredictable. Life throws these distractions and these temptations in our path. In short, we can't depend on our minds to make positive decisions every day. We need habits that will guide us. Resilience is also about much more than us. So when we're sad or defeated, we tend to magnify the severity of our problems, right? When something breaks or doesn't go as planned, we see it as a considerable loss. It's to lose perspective on what's important. But there are many people in the world facing more dire consequences than we are, right? By helping them, we can shrink our problems. And that compassion for others, it really feeds our own passion. Martin Luther King said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. And I love those words. Everyone has something to offer through volunteering. You don't need a skill. You only need your time and your presence. You could mentor a foster child, deliver groceries to seniors. You could beautify the environment by picking up trash. Remember that, you don't need to change the world to make a difference. Just do a small part. You can go to volunteermatch.com to find COVID-19 volunteer opportunities. So that's the list. I hope that was helpful. I'm curious, how are you staying resilient during these turbulent times? What's worked for you? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe or go to knowyourbest.com to get great self-improvement tips each week. Thanks a lot.